just recently, what was my most embarrassing moment on the stage. And
What is your most embarrassing moment?
I probably had many, but the one that comes to my mind, it was just more than I could take. I had a preacher friend up in Buchanan, West Virginia, called Mr. Pastor Carey Wright. And we always went up there in the month of May. He put on a concert down at a little civic center in Buchanan, West Virginia, a little town up there in the West Virginia hills. And we were there that night, and it was packed. I mean, it was sold out. And he was happy, and I was happy, and I was excited. And I've always liked harmony, pretty harmony. When it gets in your ears, you know, it kind of does that in your ears, and I get excited. And that night I was feeling good anyway, and they ended up a song, and it got to me. And I ran back and I hollered, "Well, glory!" And when I did that, my teeth flew out of my mouth. I didn't know what to do. One of the few times in my life I couldn't handle something. But in fact, it hit that child's horn. It looked like it was after somebody. It was just bouncing. I went and grabbed them and went in the dressing room and washed them off and put them back in my mouth, and I went to the bus, and they didn't see me no more that night. So the next year, Brother Perry called, and he said, "We're having that singing he told me to date to me." I said, "Brother, we already got that book." He didn't believe it, but he said, "Man, I hate that." So the next year he called again. We've already got that book. That we went on 6 years. I'm getting old, and he's getting...
In other words, you were telling him a story.
I was telling him.
Yeah.
It was a little exaggeration. And on that 7th time, he said, "Ed, I know why you don't want to come, but I can promise you the people who come to concerts now are not the same people who come back 7 years ago. They've moved out to get jobs in different places. The older people have gone on to be with the Lord. It's just a different crowd. Come on back. We'll have a good time." So he talked me into coming back. Well, we went out to his home, and his wife had a nice meal prepared in the afternoon, and we were having a good time sitting talking. I remember I needed something from the drugstore. So I borrowed his car, and I drove down to the little village of Buchanan. And I couldn't find a parking place in front of the drugstore, but I did have one on the side over here in front of a little insurance agent. So I was going to get out and walk across the street. I no longer had opened that door and got out, but some little lady out that insurance company come out that door and says, "Brother Ed, have you still got your teeth on?" I knew they would never forget